Hello students, welcome to EduRev. Can a single newspaper edition shape your mains answer plan for the week? Let's find out gently together. Today we will walk through 6 high-yield items from the Hindu that matter for UPSC preparation. And I will point out their constitutional, strategic and economic angles. First is a politically sensitive issue. The governor and recent controversies in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Why this matters for mains? It touches federalism, the constitutional role of the governor, and center-state friction, classic polity material. The immediate trigger was disputes over the governor's address, including changes or omission of parts, and in one case, leaving without delivering the speech. Remember the constitutional duty. Under Article 176, the governor must address the state legislature after elections and at the first session each year. Crucially, the speech content is prepared by the state government, that is, the Council of Ministers, not the governor personally. Problems arise because governors sometimes claim constitutional breach, while state governments accuse them of acting as agents of the center. The friction affects state functioning, center-state relations, and the health of Indian federalism. Points you should link in answers. Key powers to note include reporting to the President, a trigger for President's rule, discretionary powers like reserving bills, and the fact that Article 200 sets no timeline for assent. Also remember Article 156 that the governor holds office during the pleasure of the President, and Article 87 which parallels the President's address to Parliament. Politically, governors are appointed by the President on the advice of the Union Council of Ministers, and conflict intensifies when different parties rule center and state. Suggested reforms covered in the write-up are worth noting for a balanced answer. Transparent appointment processes, neutral professional appointees, selection committees including the Chief Minister and judiciary input, security of tenure, and even the debated idea of abolition. Next, let's shift to technology and economics. Reusable launch vehicles and why they are changing space strategy and costs. A rocket typically carries fuel, payload, and multiple stages. And traditionally, those stages became expendable debris after use, driving up cost and turnaround time. The reusability model, popularized by private players, allows stages to return, land, and be refurbished for reuse. Benefits are straightforward for answers. Lower cost per launch, faster mission cadence, reduced debris, and improved sustainability. India's work on reusability, such as the Pushpak Viman prototype and testing, is an important point for technology and UPSC optional discussions. Third item is an international relations concept with deep strategic implication: the Monroe Doctrine and its modern echoes. The original 1823 Monroe Doctrine asserted US primacy in the Western Hemisphere and opposed outside interference, creating a precedent for regional dominance claims. The concern today is that similar logic can be invoked by other powers. Think of China and Taiwan, or Russia and Ukraine, creating dangerous precedents and straining global order. For India, this matters because increased US-China rivalry forces smaller states to make strategic choices that affect economic and diplomatic autonomy. Fourth is the economic ripple from the electric vehicle boom and the surge in copper demand. EV sales have leapt from about 0.55 million in 2015 to an estimated 20 million by 2025. And EVs use roughly 4 to 5 times more copper than conventional vehicles. Copper is critical for wiring, motors, chargers, and grid infrastructure. So demand growth directly stresses supply chains. The problem is, supply cannot be scaled quickly. New mines take 10 to 15 years to come online, and there is no straightforward substitute for copper. This raises the risk of shortages and geopolitical competition, with Chile supplying about 27% of global copper and India needing to secure domestic and diversified sources. Key Indian copper regions to remember include Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. Fifth topic is Domestic Administrative Process, Special Intensive Revision or SIR of Electoral Rolls. The Election Commission frames SIR as a tool to clean electoral rolls and remove fake or duplicate entries. Concerns raised are that genuine voters may be inadvertently deleted, the focus appears selective in some states, and insufficient house-to-house verification could undermine fairness. Legal backing to note for answers is Section 21 of the Representation of People Act 1950, and the remedy for deleted voters is re-enrollment using Form 6. Sixth and finally, India's Gulf relations, especially with the UAE and Saudi Arabia, are strategic for trade, energy, and diaspora welfare. The UAE is India's third largest trading partner, second biggest export destination, and a top foreign investor. And bilateral ties now include LNG deals, investments, and defense cooperation. India aims for $200 billion trade with the UAE and must carefully balance relations between the UAE and Saudi Arabia to protect energy security, remittances, and investments. So, what is the key insight across these stories for UPSC aspirants? Connect the dots. Constitutional rules and federal balance, technological advances and strategic autonomy, resource security in the global market, and procedural integrity in democratic processes. Your mains answers should pair factual detail with analytical linkage. Show how an event affects institutions, policy choices, and long-term strategic outcomes. Quick recap in one line each. Governor controversies underline federal tensions and constitutional duties. Reusable rockets cut costs and enhance space access. Monroe-style doctrines risk regional dominance and instability. The EV boom is driving a copper crunch. SIR raises questions on electoral fairness. And Gulf ties are central to India's economy and diaspora. Before we close, a gentle study tip. When you read such multifaceted news, always map facts to the syllabus, polity, IR, economy, environment, and governance, and note possible question angles. Keep your answers structured. Context, constitutional or technical detail, implications, and reform or policy suggestions. Take care of yourself during preparation. Small breaks, consistent revision, and calm focus will carry you far. Stay smiling and avoid unnecessary tension, because steady self-strength and consistency are the most reliable tools in an uncertain exam journey. Thank you for listening. And if you'd like detailed notes, model answers, or daily quizzes on any of these topics, explore the dedicated resources on EduRev. Good luck with your preparation. Keep revising gently, and I'll see you in the next session.